When you suggest that you have space, therefore second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply, it's a begging the question fallacy. So often I will ask fundamentalist religious zealots, beyond your fundamentalist religious zealot belief that the sky is a vacuum, how can you have gas pressure without a container? Because the natural instinct of a fundamentalist globe-believing fundy, it's a bit redundant, is to beg the question of the sky vacuum and then tell us that obviously the second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply because the gas isn't filling my presupposition that the sky is a vacuum. Well, that's a begging the question fallacy, to assume that you've got a sky vacuum and therefore not require a justification for its violation of that particular law. That would be an entropy increase, or standard gas law. The volume that you would calculate it with would be the volume of space the gas has to fill. And if the sky was a vacuum, that would be an availability of volume for the gas we breathe to fill.
Therefore, the universe will say, and a born one. It jump into existence, and it leaves the atheist no hope. Okay, it leaves the atheist with no hope. But yes, I want to say, indeed, there is someone beyond the universe. The universe is an effect. There is a controller of this universe. Obia, if we are with an some. Therefore, if we are with a crown bonua, one man in hope, a man in the sword, then in China, outside this universe. Beloved, once again, I greet you and I welcome you to Lost in Media. This time round, it is aching to be like we almost go around Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve. Yes, this time round too, there are many assertions going on about Adam and Eve. Hope you get to with me. And people do claim that they were not real people. Okay, they go by the poetic nature of the book in regards to Adam and Eve, and they be like they were not real people, they were not actual people. Okay, it's some anonymous story or something like that, and they go by its parallel with other ancient literatures and all that, and they conclude by saying the event that the Bible talks of in Genesis chapter 2, Genesis chapter 1, Genesis chapter 3 aren't real. They didn't really happen in real history. Okay, there are figurative stuffs over there, and no real people like that existed called or with the name Adam and Eve. Is this really true? Shall we take a quick break and come back to assess this information? For why I dare say ultimate chairman than them hobaye. Wouldn't be. And for so many videos. I think that some poor crampo akasasem we see be that. Say a year Adam and Eve. Okay, I had to one semano. Now one in your real people. Okay, I a bet kasa kwabi. Okay, and a Bible nimo na ede kasa about something else. But Adam and Eve, a big crampo say I Adam and I say unipa. Genesis chapter 1 verse number 26 through 28 no different from the Genesis chapter 2 verse number 20 no kind of one seven no same way and no kwere wo mu and say say kwa na nipa esusua Bible no say na nkrofo esusua Bible no okay those other literatures are nkrofo okay no say usua yi you get to know say they also talk of a first man and all that, but the name isn't Adam. Okay, and I think say I hear video we say na yema.
Have you ever wondered where the story of Adam and Eve truly originated from? Many believe that it is solely a Christian tale, but the truth is that it has roots in ancient Sumerian tablets. According to these tablets, the first man was not Adam, but instead his name was Adapa. Adapa was created by the god Ea and was given the gift of knowledge. However, he was not immortal like the gods and could still die. Adapa was tasked with maintaining the garden of the gods, but one day he stumbled upon the forbidden fruit. He was tempted by it and ate it despite being warned not to. This angered the gods, and Adapa was punished for his actions. Similarly, the first woman was not named Eve, but instead her name was Tiamat. Tiamat was created by the goddess Ninhursag and was tasked with caring for the animals in the garden. However, just like Adapa, Tiamat was also tempted by the forbidden fruit and ate it. This led to her punishment and expulsion from the garden. To learn more about the secrets of the universe, visit our profile for a free ebook bundle.
So no, also Edino anya Adam. Okay, people has been saying a lot of stuff about Adam. Whatever video we say, so never say.
There's a CIA document that came out. Everybody just started talking about it now. It's called the Adam and Eve story. It basically explains how the world is gonna end.
Has it been true?
It makes sense. They say the world is gonna end because the poles, like, you know, North and South Pole, they shift every 12,000 to 15,000 years. And once they shift, it causes like a giant like apocalypse, big earthquakes, giant tsunamis. Once the apocalypse happens, we go right back to the Stone Age. And it said that our first humans, like as us, it was 10,000 years ago. So if you think about it, 10,000 years ago, we're in year 2000. We're at 12,000 years right now. And now you see like global warming and shit like that. Like in the book, it says that we are the sixth civilization that came out of the apocalypse. So we just get to a certain point in life and then it just
Hard reset.
and that explains a lot, because remember how you were saying that the Sahara Desert used to be green and like the Antarctica used to have forests and shit like that?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Like it switches like
Switches everything and flips.
so now like some places turn cold, some places turn hot. That's why they was talking about like the flood in the Bible like that. That's probably what happened to Atlantis and shit
I was
like
just
that.
about to say Atlantis. It would make sense for a city in the water if the water wasn't there before.
Oh, maybe some question way. Adam, not a real person. I'm not saying not a real person. Fadio, so say Adam the Eve. Now one any real people there. You be say, what is our origin as human beings? Okay, what is our origin? Now say you can say original. What do we mean by origin? Me know in your physics, say, but in normal English, origin. What does it mean? Okay, say what kind original? You are talking about how everything on earth began. Ekwana fa so ama bibi bia ba ye. Enua kura asase ne sai. Okay, emua wana asase ne sai. Enipa asase ne sai. Ensuo asase ne sai. Okay, so what is the origin of man? Onipa asase firi henefa. Onipa na asase ene sai. Okay, say Adam and was some to Bible nemono. A figurative speech, and as a poem be and a Bible no eka, and yet na yana crapono if you fan a buy. And now say, do you believe in spontaneous creation? Do you believe, say, we came as a result of some dead matter? Say there's some atheists, yana wakanwana. Okay, do you believe in such a session? Do you believe in that Big Bang theory? Do you believe in evolutionary theory? The fable of creation without a creator? Okay? Do you believe, say, universe where it just jumped into existence? Say now believe it, yeah. And yeah, now me just say, we believe no, from kakra. We did ye, what is your name, no, Sebi, from kakra, Kasa didn't who ye. Because medical actual, many was here, the actual say. Say, what's your scientists now? Because I want to lose. I would do or portray no. Be to say the science of biogenesis. Okay, and I say, even apart from the science of biogenesis, where the first law and the second law of thermodynamics are. Okay, these laws are not actually say universe will say and eternal. Okay, universe will say a become. The science of radioactivity. Actually say bibi bia no wa asase no say to me at the ending point. Okay, sana here. First law of thermodynamics actually say what is it your universe will say there's going to be a time where heat into say explode, including everything bibi bia there will be there say.
gas, vacuum of equal volume, and we're going to remove the barrier. You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume.
Is the expansion of a gas into a vacuum. I have in one of these bulbs some bromine, and in the other I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all that happens is a change in entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy.
When you suggest that you have space, therefore second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply, it's a begging the question fallacy. So often I will ask fundamentalist religious zealots, beyond your fundamentalist religious zealot belief that the sky is a vacuum, how can you have gas pressure without a container? Because the natural instinct of a fundamentalist globe-believing fundy, it's a bit redundant, is to beg the question of the sky vacuum and then tell us that obviously the second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply because the gas isn't filling my presupposition that the sky is a vacuum. Well, that's a begging the question fallacy, to assume that you've got a sky vacuum and therefore not require a justification for its violation of that particular law. That would be an entropy increase, or standard gas law, the volume that you would calculate it with would be the volume of space the gas has to fill. And if the sky was a vacuum, that would be an availability of volume for the gas we breathe to fill.
Therefore, so universe we say no, and a born one, it jump into existence, and it leaves the atheists no hope. Okay, it leaves the atheists with no hope. But yes, I want to say indeed there is someone beyond the universe. The universe is an effect. There is a controller of this universe. Obia, we are with an some. Therefore, so we are with say Kramponwa. One man in hope, or man and that's what send China Yako, Nenchano outside this universe. Okay, Nenchano outside this universe. Sana Samnetia, Shadia. Bible no say Adam, not a real person. Bible no say Adam ampara otanase. Okay, mama nchewa de social Bible ni mu a. Social Bible ni mu a. We Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 no a. You get to know say Adam and Eve now one a real person because Genesis 1 and 2 presents them as actual persons and even narrates the important events in their lives. Genesis 1 and 2 represented Adam and Eve say one are real people. Okay, now even some important events be also on boom. Okay, talking of God visiting them in the Garden of Eden, that special place and Yankopon prepared them one was as we asked one. Okay, talking of a year Yankopon ete from the tear at the ball no. Yankopon chere won say too many abanyina mutumi de bi ba ko ne 25 ode mamu ni bi Yankopon ma Adam eda ho no ode oyi ne mpade ede nam sa na mu rode yo ba be kan ho. Okay, oh ye ni ade Bible no chere say they were actual people. They were real people. Therefore, the and some uncle foka as Adam. Ne ho asem no eye po bi keke anase eye refreshing bi keke and e wo ho ne ade no nya no kore. Where then did we come from? Because we are as a result of Adam and Eve. One of the first human beings. One and the produce yen na most yen na ba okay. Ebio so what is it? Genesis 4. Equals Genesis 5. When I get to know, say they gave birth to literal children who did the same. One Ewo and man kasa Cain and Abel. One and a wo one. And a Cain and Abel so through a Cain. And so there be a warrior. Okay, Cain so a warrior. One bass says and so a warrior. Na Bible no actually me who say one asimu and a generation was so na ba and they be as so. Therefore, they were real people. They were actual people. Out here. Okay. It be also say Mesaso another evidence. Genesis 6 verse 9, Genesis 10 verse 1, 11 verse 10, and 27. Genesis 27, verse 12 and 19. And it said, the same phrase say, this is the history of on way ene osimesi ehun abakwasem ye ene osimesi ehun abakwasem ye ka osimesi bi ehun abakwasem a that osimesi no should and must be real person, actual person out na ase. Okay, metie se ka say ye be ka Stephen hu abakwasem da bia mi ne ho no ye be ka Stephen hu abakwasem ye be ka onipa so besi hu abakwasem we hu abakwasem a oye actual person, real person out there be out na ase. Read these verses of the Bible. All those people Bible this is the history of the same is ascribed to a year Adam and Eve. Okay, it is used to record later history. Okay, it's a year Adam and Eve. Now one year actual people. One year there one etanas here. It be also say a year Chronicles. Genesis chapter 5, verse number 1, and First Chronicles chapter 1, verse number 1. You get to know, say, later Old Testament chronologies place Adam at the top of the list. Okay, later Old Testament chronologies say, who see the Bible nemo? I really power do our tenas here. We are seeing away free buyer, we are seeing away free buyer, or place Adam on top. Say, if Adam moon any penny na a buyer. If Adamu and the penny na abaye. Okay, sana here. Adam and a chance and the penny na feeling where they bay. Therefore, now we actual people are where they bay. What na a year as I see so. So the New Testament places Adam at the beginning of Jesus, literal ancestors. Luke 3 verse 38. So who's about the ancestry of Jesus Christ? Our Luke 3 verse 38. You got to know, say, New Testament no. Actually, say Adam now a real person. Okay, now placing Adam on top of the list. Say Adam asinimu and Jesus Christ right there by free. Therefore, now Adam a real person. Okay, enti anya na sesembi and a Bible na to ye. Genesis chapter 1, 2, and 3 about Adam. They were real person. They were actual people. Womu and others and united by every ebaye. Jesus referred to Adam and Eve as the first literal male and female, making their physical union the basis of marriage. Matthew 19 verse number 4. Yesu Christo ekasafa Adam and Eve and say one actual male and a female, one barema and oba ankasa watana se na empo wana ware yesu nipa nyina twese hweso de be eware ene se onyankopon eyo barema baako ena oba baako nti barema baako oyere baako oba baako ukunu baako barema baako oyere mu ntimi nya miensa na mienu oba baako ukunu mu ntimi nya miensa na mienu oba ogde baako bema ode baako Yesu Kristo etre se Adam and Eve, one warrior no, a basis for all marriage. Therefore, they were actual males, male and female. Say na Bible neka, in the call for kekano, atrosem, and enkotoposem. Ebio, the book of Romans. So the book of Romans, okay, the book of Romans declares that, what is it? Okay, the book of Romans declares that literal death was brought into the world by a literal one man, Adam. Romans chapter 1, verse number 12 and 14. Actually say, owo kwa mpa ewo ewiase mo no. Arasa nyina wo no. So Genesis chapter 2, verse number 14 through 21 no. You get to know say, onyankopon ekere onipa Adam say, ada obeti tro no mu ho sa papa ne bone hunim de dua ne bi eso aba ne bi edi no ewuo eno bewu na Bible ne chese ada sanyina wu because that seed was planted in Adam. Okay, Adam mu nyina ye free. That is the reason say nyina so de be ye wu no enti ewuo ba asase so enam Adam aso de de be wo ye eso. Okay, ampa so the Bible ne kan no and adwuma ye nyina ye wu metia mewu obi biara bewu efesase so ebio. The comparison of Adam, the first Adam, with Christ, the last Adam, in 1 Corinthians 15, verse number 45, manifests that Adam was understood as a literal historical person. Okay? So, Bible here, you get to know, say, Bible not say, Yesu Christo, na oye, what is it? Spiritual Adam. Okay, Anna, Adam of the Old Testament now ye there honam from Adam. Okay, enti we no ema ye no hunu say indeed na Adam a real person because Jesus Christ was a real person. Okay, and I the real person so na to real person ho ema ye. Therefore, we dey say Adam ampa now a literal person obi a otena ase ankasa na osan so what is this or a historical person abakosem obi a otena ase aye won ho de be abakosem ankasa de be ho ebio Paul's declaration that Adam was first formed than Eve ebio Paul declare ye nkoko na me so declare ye First Timothy 2 verse 13 through 14 say what is it and 14 say Adam okay or a literal person and yankopon di kan ye no ana akire oye Eve de be efri ni mu oyi ni mpade de Eve sana asemete we kire say ampa na Adam and Eve one a real people one a literal people what na ase we historical people what na ase ebio the last one me is also any logically there had to be a first real set of human beings male and female or else the race would have had no way to get going. The Bible calls this literal couple Adam and Eve, and there is no reason to doubt their real existence. Okay? And independent was as this one, it has said to me, literal people. One of your first people. What I say, will moon originated, yeah. Other than that, existence, no, it wouldn't make sense. They say to me, first human. One idea bay, what I say, na no mu and the idea bay, if you buy, so there's no reason to doubt the actual existence of Adam and Eve. Now go pomboa, it's not to be what natural doubts I would rank for ever Adam and Eve, and some would scientists why they be working can ade, just a one dating system near day, what they just say Adam and Eve, one existence and any real and blah 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 blah. Yabba Abe we say when you go point it out. Say to me, enemy is the Suyamono, you will say Adam and Eve, now one actual people, one real people, and you will move and you free a buy, say at Yasadia. Nasa ampa say I want to so nyina e baaye ana ye tracy e babesi ene any idea wo kan ha masefo share masefo and asefo you get to know say indeed they were real people, they were actual humans. When they be atana say na eno kwa na my reasonable answer about yen origin. Now ko link it up to a Big Bang theory and I say evolutionary theory, you get to know say it doesn't make sense. Nyakopon shira fata go biara e ma me akosan. Nyakopon shira me chairman Esther name that Samuel asamwa mo share program yi emfa my Grace Wade Eboache Adams fashion koso na share program yi emfa my brother ni Joseph Junior senior Hele Code Church of Christ I sign mo Nyakopon shira Mr. Daniel Dankwa Shenshen and Mr. Williams of Palermo Church of Christ Italy mukoso na share program yi emfa my na ya fosu Mr. na offer mo nyina mo comment section mukoso na mo comment o program yi e wona mo share na mo like so bye bye.